Hi folks, I'm Sher Lancaster of Intermission Productions, and we're going to do hopefully a brief video on how to pack up the Audrey II plants for shipping back to us. You can run the video backwards to see how to unpack it. Each costume part will have a bag, and you'll notice that the bags mix and match. They have a lot of dings, a lot of rips. That is preferable for the bags to get the abuse in the puppet. So when you unpack the puppet, please leave it in the bag until you get it into the position that you want it to be on your stage. This is my grandson Brendan, and he's going to help me pack up the plant. Now this is plant number 1. This is going to be the easy one. Now during production you'll know that it has a control for the leaves. Please do not leave it hooked up when you ship it back. Please unhook it. Make sure the plant is nestled into its pot, and then hold up the bag, and in it goes. We have plant number 2, and you'll notice this particular plant is generally it's just an arm we send you, but this plant already has a jacket attached. As these plants ship around the country, they pick up a jacket. We leave it on in case the jacket happens to fit your Seymour actor. If it does, great. If not, go ahead and replace it, and you can just send the jacket to us and it'll go to another production. We're just trying to save you some time. Also, when you pack up the plant, make sure it's sitting in its pot, and in the pot is the matching glove. So please make sure we get the gloves back. All the bags are marked. So you know what bags you're going to use for the parts. And in it goes. The next part is right over here. Go ahead and grab that bag. This is your accessory bag. And your accessories consist of the following parts. We have 2 red gloves. Looks like we're sending 3 on this one, but you will get at least 2 red gloves. This is the control gloves for your Audrey IV plant. Those go in. We also saved you some time, and we've got some body parts so you don't have to look around at Morris Costumes to find them. Those go in. We also have some disgusting intestines if you want to get really gross with your Audrey plant number 3 eating. And then we have 5 accessory vines to decorate your set. So make sure you count them as they go in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now that we're getting to the bigger bags, what we recommend is you take the 2 ends, put a very soft knot, and then a second one. You don't have to over tighten it. It's not necessary. It's just to hold the bags closed. So please don't over tighten it, so we have to get a screwdriver or a wrench to try to get them loose. The next plant is plant number 3. That consists of 2 legs. Which go on the bottom. And then plant number 3. Now please put the Audrey number 3 plant and Audrey number 4 plant so that the nose is sticking up to the opening. Please do not have them dive to the bottom. It just crushes up the nose. What you want to do is put it in like that, and again, now over here we have the plant arms, or monster arms. They'll be listed. These are plant arms flower arms, monster arms. They're the huge flower bud arms for your ending. There are two of them, left and right. Again, always helpful to have someone help you. 2 to 3 people is always advisable. And again, you want to use the bags to move the puppet parts to whatever location on your set you want the parts to be. So please hold on to the bags. You can also use the bags to lay on the ground to rest your puppet on to keep it from picking up any stage floor dirt. And now the most difficult one. Plant number 4, you do need at least 2 people to pack it up. And what's important is making sure that the skirt is down on the bottom so it doesn't get caught. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the bag over this way. Let's bring the bag over. Lay the bag down so that it's open. Then you want to pick it up and get it started. This is one time where a third person is helpful. You want to see, as you can see, the skirt kind of flops around on the bottom, so you want to make sure the skirt gets all the way on the bottom. And again, please do not pack this plant with the nose in the down position. You want it up. Should be just enough to not only cover the plant but give you the opportunity to again tie one of those loose knots. That's just to help hold it in place. When you're done, everything is nice and neatly bagged up, and now we're going to get it in its case. Okay, now we're going to get the Audrey II plant puppet parts into the case. We have a couple of cases. Because they're shipped all over the country, they're probably not going to look as nice and as beautiful as this case looks like right now. We have a black case and a gray case. There's usually dings and tears that we repair. Again, we'd rather the case gets the abuse than the puppet. Now there are handles on the side. You're going to require your strong people to be able to lift and hold it. It gets very heavy. It's great if you have a forklift, but if you don't, then a roller or your strong guys. Now the first part to go into the case is plant number 4. And what we do is you grab the bag itself. In fact, when you move it around, use the bag instead of grabbing the puppet. You want to have the top of the head go in, and as you see, it goes in from the side. And you can come closer in here. And again, we designed the puppet so that they can crush up and mold in, but it's going to rest in this location of the case. Then the next parts are plants 1 and 2. And you want to rest plant number 1 down here in the corner so that it's protected doesn't fall out, and then plant number 2 goes down in here as well. So it's, you don't want to put anything that's going to crush those pots or break them. Then the next part is the plant arms. Then we pick up plant number 3. Now you may move things around so there's not too much crushing it. And then finally the accessories go in the case. In fact, we're going to move this over just a little bit to give us some more room. Then you get some help lifting the lid. These lids can be very awkward. And again, because of the abuse that the cases get, putting the lid on can be pretty challenging sometimes. So sometimes you might even have to have a rubber hammer. You want to make sure that it... Again, this is the most challenging part. And depending on the condition of the case, well, that was easy. Sometimes it's not going to be that easy. Once you get the plant inside the box and you've got the lid nice and secured down, to make sure that the case doesn't open up accidentally in the shipping over here, because they're rough on these cases, you're going to want to secure it by putting a zip tie through that little hole in the key and down in that little loop, and then you want to pull those zip ties down so they're facing downward. On these dark cases and putting the lid on, I forgot to mention, they were thoughtful enough to put a little arrow here. So that was nice. They put a nice little arrow there so that you'll be securing down this lid. Now when you ship it back, you're going to have these labels. When you get the case, make sure you remove all the other labels, numbers, any stickers that are on here so it doesn't confuse them. We want to help out the shipper to make sure it gets to you and comes back to us. We usually put a label on the top, and what you want to do for the one on the top, you want to cover it up entirely with tape. So you're going to go all the way down and cover that completely. Then with 3 pieces of tape, you're going to go all around the shipping case, making sure you got it labeled. Use 3 pieces of tape, top, bottom, and middle, to make sure you've got it secured. And again, make sure that you remove all the old labels, because you want to make sure that it gets to its location. And now it's ready to come back. I hope your performance was wonderful, and thanks for listening.